I suppose I should have knocked, Adrian, but I thought you'd still be napping after your tour of the island.
That's all right, Papa.
Have a nice time?
Mm-hmm.
What did you see?
Oh, different things. Rick and I just walked around.
I thought Rick wasn't going ashore.
He changed his mind.
You must be tired, darling.
No, I just had a nap.
You're very warm. Wouldn't surprise me if you were a little feverish. It might be a good idea if you skipped dinner tonight. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do.
Please, Papa, I'm all right.
Now, you've had enough excitement for one day.
But I told Rick.
I don't care what you told Rick. You're going to bed.
Papa, why must you always...
Go on, dear. Go on. That's my girl. Gardner McKay in James A. Michener's Adventures in Paradise. With Guy Stockwell as Chris Parker and James Holden as Clay Baker. Guest stars, Kent Smith, Jacqueline Scott, Sarah Marshall, and starring Gardner McKay as Adam Troy.
Captain. Adrian was feeling fine when we went ashore this afternoon. Even after we came back, she...
Well, her father said it was a little too much for her. Oh, Kelly, the new passengers will be joining us for dinner.
New passengers?
Yeah, we picked up a couple on our ruler while you and Adrian were out exploring. And Mr. Crandall won't be joining us either.
Yes, I'm fine.
Well, that makes it nice and intimate. You know something? I'm being forced to the conclusion that I'm not one of Papa Crandall's favorite people.
But you're one of mine. Gentlemen, be seated.
You had me worried, honey.
I'm glad. Oh, I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
I know.
Oh, that's wonderful. What is it?
Yeah, what is it? Oh, Te Hopu Ia. It's a Tahitian dish.
I once had something like that in Marseille, only there we...
Good evening.
Well, I'm glad you could join us.
So am I. Smells positively heavenly.
George Bellamy and his sister Iris. This is Adrian Crandall.
How do you do? Hello.
And this is Richard Leyton.
Delighted. Delighted. I hear from Captain Troy we've something in common. We're fellow artists.
Oh, are you a writer, too?
Oh, no, dear me, no. I dabble in paint.
I'd love to see your work.
You shall, my dear. You shall. I used to know a Leyton in Shanghai. No relation, I suppose.
No.
I'm glad for your sake. He wasn't a very honorable chap. You remember him, Iris?
How could I possibly forget?
Iris, be a darling and serve me some of that delicious-looking mess, will you?
It's a beautiful night.
Yeah, where's Rick?
He's in his cabin. He wanted to lie down for a while. Do you know something, Captain? I don't ever remember being this happy. It all started when I boarded the Tiki.
Oh, you pay her a very nice compliment. She thanks you, but I don't think she deserves all the credit.
I've never known anyone like Rick. For the first time in my life...
Adrian, I looked in on you. I thought you'd be asleep.
Evening, Mr. Crandall?
I wasn't tired, Papa, so I thought...
I think you'd better go to bed. I know I must seem like one of those old-fashioned fathers that, what's his name was always writing about.
Henry James?
You see, I've got a little problem. Adrian isn't strong. That's why I decided on this kind of a trip. But ever since she's met Rick Leyton... Incidentally, you ever read anything he wrote?
No.
Neither have I.
You don't like Rick Leyton, do you?
I do not, if for no other reason than that he constantly intrudes on Adrian's rest. I'm delighted he's finally spending an evening with his typewriter.
There you are.
I don't remember saying come in.
Oh, you just forgot your manners. I say, oh boy, do put that thing away. You've no idea how easily they go off.
Don't I?
Yes, perhaps you do. Well, let's not be childish. You wouldn't dare to use it here. After all, I'm a man of considerable girth, you know. You'd have great difficulty in throwing me through that porthole. And then, there's Iris.
Yeah, there's always Iris.
Thank you, darling.
I imagine she'd do something feminine and scream. That's a good chap. You know, you put us to considerable trouble, Richard.
Well, you shouldn't have bothered. I'm broke.
You mean the entire £40,000?
All gone.
Won't think me presumptuous if I ask what happened. After all, half the money did belong to us.
I lost at the Fantan game in Hong Kong.
Oh, and that's where you stumbled across the affluent Miss Crandall.
What are you talking about?
Oh, he doesn't know.
Brace yourself for a shock, Richard. Miss Crandall is an heiress.
Pots and pots of money.
I have it on the best authority. I checked after I learned that a man answering to your description had sailed on the Tiki. Now, I'm sure it's occurred to you.
Easy now. I happen to be in love with the girl.
Isn't that touching, Georgie? Love has finally come to our Richard. Maybe I gave up too soon.
I'm serious.
Well, of course you are, and I'm delighted. Love is an ennobling experience, not to mention enriching. Would you say that $100,000 would be a conservative estimate?
Forget it. I'm not taking Adrian for 1 cent. Not one.
I propose our usual arrangement, share and share alike. And we're serious, Richard.
If I don't, you'll blow a whistle, hmm?
The moment we land on Tahiti.
All right.
And I needn't warn you that should you attempt to double-cross us again...
You needn't warn me.
Splendid.
Good to see you again, Rick.
Uh-huh.
You know, he hasn't the slightest intention of cutting us in.
That thought had occurred to me. Don't fret, my dear. If we can't make a large profit, we'll settle for a small one. I believe I'll take a turn on deck.
Who is it?
I've got to talk to you.
Just a minute. All right.
Yeah.
Are you busy?
No, come on in. Now, what can I do?
Would you do us a favor?
Sure, if I can.
You're stopping at Tiara Island tonight.
Yes, we're just anchoring long enough for Chris to run these books ashore on the dinghy for the island administrator. It's a long overdue promise.
Could you drop us off, too? Without telling anyone?
You mean your father?
Please, Adam, don't say no. I'm over 21.
Then you're old enough to tell him how you feel, aren't you?
Well, I can't. I despise myself, but I can't. Night after night, I go to bed saying, tomorrow I'll tell him. He's got to realize I'm not a child anymore. And then he looks at me, and my mouth goes dry and the words won't come. I just stand there petrified, wondering what my punishment will be.
Well, you've seen how she shrivels up when he talks to her. She's scared to death of him.
You're not scared of him.
No.
Well, why don't you talk to him?
I don't want him to. You see, you don't understand, but I just know that if my father were to walk in here this minute and order me to leave, I'd go. Even if it meant losing Rick. Adam, please help me.
I'm sorry.
I told you it was no use.
Of course, if you both happen to be on deck around 3 in the morning when Chris is taking the books ashore and you just want to ride in and look around or something, I can't see an objection to that. But don't wander off, because we're only going to be there about 20 minutes. And I'd hate to sail without you. I really would.
Thank you, Adam.
It's enough already.
I'll never forget you for this.
Just be happy.
Everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, isn't it a lovely day?
If you like lovely days.
Oh, my word. Somebody's got up out of the wrong side of her bed. And others apparently didn't bother to get up at all.
Bacon and eggs?
Oh, no, just coffee, thank you.
Put them over here, Kelly. I'll eat them.
Oh, my word, I envy you, you know, if I were only 20 years younger.
Good morning. She's not on board.
I don't think I understand you.
She's gone. She went ashore with Rick Leyton on Tiara early this morning.
She and Rick Leyton went ashore. And you sailed without him. How much did he pay you? You know who Rick Leyton is?
Richard Blaine. Did you show this to her?
No.
Why not?
Well, that's none of your business. I suppose you realize what you've done.
Well, how'd Papa take the news? He didn't. Turn the ship back to Tiara. What? Tell Papa Crandall I went on ahead.
This may be a good opportunity to absorb some of the local color.
Where's Captain Troy?
He just went ashore.
I don't suppose you'd have any idea where I could find my daughter.
There's only one hotel on the island.
Yes?
It's Adam Troy. Adrian, where's Rick? I want to talk to him.
Adam, what are you doing here?
Look, I'm terribly sorry
Is
about...
my father here, too?
Yes, he
What
is.
did he do? Did he make you come back for me?
Get your things together. Didn't you hear me? Where's your bag?
I'm staying here, Papa.
You'll do as you're told.
No, Papa, not anymore. I'm staying here with my husband. We were married early this morning, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Adrian Crandall. Huh. It was most careless of her.
They were married just this morning.
Ah, but you admit that it is yours.
I don't know how it got there.
It is yours, is it not?
Yes, yes, yes! I've told you so many times. How many times do
And you had it when you left the key.
She's told you that, hasn't she?
And this gun. We found it in your husband's typewriter case. Did you know it was there?
No.
Is that the murder weapon?
No, Adam.
Would you have any idea why your husband would have a gun?
Inspector, please. The poor girl's exhausted.
I am sorry, monsieur, but I have a duty to perform. A murder has been committed on this island, and I am the administrator here.
You're the administrator, doctor, police commissioner. Is there anything you're not?
I understand your concern, monsieur. Your daughter is in jeopardy, but...
In jeopardy? Where's her motive? She married the man less than 24 hours ago.
The fact remains that we found a purse near the body.
Well, doctor, anybody could have put it there.
Perhaps. But what about this? We found it clutched in your husband's hand. You recall the last time you wore it?
Would you like something to eat, madame?
No, I don't want anything. I just want to be left alone. I can't answer any more questions.
I'm taking you back to the hotel with me. I've moved my things in there. Doctor, I'm taking her with me.
I am afraid that is impossible.
You mean you're going to lock her up? You can't do that. Captain, isn't there anything you can do about this?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Is that all you can say?
Well, I guess if I hadn't interfered, none of this would have happened. Crandall's absolutely right.
Well, don't blame yourself, Al. Why didn't he say something? He had the clipping. Why didn't you speak up?
Trying to figure that out, but I figure it's just that, I don't know, he must have just gotten the clipping. No thanks.
From where?
From somebody who came on board, somebody who knew about Rick. Well, I may as well try.
Try what?
You weren't at the table when Rick saw the Bellamy's for the first time. He turned white.
My handsome young captain. Come in and have a drink.
You haven't seen your brother around, have you?
Georgie? Oh, he's probably out celebrating like I am. Sure you won't have a drink?
Yeah, maybe I will. What are you celebrating?
Haven't you heard? Richard's dead. Dead and gone. Shall we drink to his memory? Yes, I think we should. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Richard Lane, alias Rick Leyton, alias... alias.
You know him pretty well.
We've been looking for him.
Oh? Why?
Because he was a filthy swine. How do you think he met the Honorable Margaret Willis? The girl he swindled out of 40,000 pounds. We introduced him, me and George. Oh, excuse me, George and me. Of course, we had no idea what sort of a man he was. You can imagine our shock when the police informed us. You're not drinking, Captain. Can it be you have an ulterior purpose?
Did your brother have a newspaper article about Rick?
Mm-hmm. Only Georgie's an opportunist. He sold it to Mr. Crandall. If you can't make a big profit, settle for a smaller one. Waste not, want not. He knew Rick would disappear with that girl.
Yes, but he didn't tell that to Mr. Crandall.
Oh. No sense in telling everything, you know. If I'd remembered that, she wouldn't have killed him.
Adrian? She didn't kill him. She had no motive. She didn't know what he was really like.
Oh, yes, she did. She knew every bit. I told her myself.
When?
Right after she pleaded with you to drop them off here. I was eavesdropping. Isn't that wicked? I went to her cabin and I told her all about her precious Richard. She pretended she'd known all along that Richard had confessed. Richard confessing. That's a likely story.
You were in love with him, weren't you?
That's a lie. A rotten, filthy lie. I'm glad he's dead. I hated him. I hated him.
I loved him. And it didn't matter. She told me everything. And it didn't matter. Miss Bellamy came to my cabin while I was packing.
And it actually made no difference to you that Monsieur Leyton was a thief?
Would I have married him if it had?
Where's your motive for murder now, Doctor? I try not to worry. I'll talk to Dr. Fouché about getting you out of here. going to release her, aren't you?
I must confess, my friend, you see before you a very troubled man. I have been searching desperately for a motive.
And all you found is that she has no reason to kill him.
It would tend to exonerate her, oui. A woman who feels betrayed might forgive the man and proceed with the marriage. On the other hand, she might kill him.
Yeah, but it's pretty unlikely she'd marry Leyton and then kill him. I mean, that's just not rational.
There is still the matter of the purse and the locket.
Well, they must have been put there by somebody else. I mean, nobody in their right mind could make so many mistakes. You agree with me on that, don't you?
Since you are convinced it is not Madame Leyton, do you have any idea who this murderer might be?
I'm no detective.
Nor am I, my friend. Nor am I. Very well. I will release her. After all, Tia is a small island. She cannot get very far.
You're forgetting the tiki.
Oh, ho, ho. While Madame Leyton is free to go, unfortunately, the tiki is not.
Look, Chris, this mask could stand refinishing. As long as we're stuck here, why don't we break out the varnish and the brushes and do a good turn, huh?
Captain, you could never guess where I've been.
I know. You've just come from an interesting chat with Dr. Fouché.
Now, isn't that amazing? Then I'd imagine that I had you to thank for it all. You must have inferred that Rick and I were more than merely shipboard acquaintances. You're a naughty boy, Captain.
Should I stand in the corner?
No, but I would be obliged if our young friend would. I'd like to have a word with you.
Well?
During my talk with Dr. Fouché, he mentioned that we were all suspect. Miss Crandall, I suppose I should call her Mrs. Leyton now, Mr. Crandall, Iris, and myself. So it occurred to me there was someone he was overlooking.
Oh, should I confess?
I admit that on the face, my theory may seem ridiculous, but there's one thing I neglected to mention to Dr. Fouché. I witnessed the crime. You see, I was out for a stroll last night, and I meandered down towards that fatal clearing. I heard someone arguing with Rick. He was about your size.
Go on.
I started to walk away. Was I in a horror of eavesdropping?
Unlike Iris.
And to return to my own saga, I started to walk away, and as I did, I heard 3 shots. Next thing I knew, a gun came flying through the air. It had a piece missing from the handle. It reminded me of one I'd seen in your cabin. Oh, you surely don't think I'd be fool enough to carry it with me.
I don't suppose you mentioned this to Dr. Fouché.
I'm a firm believer in the philosophy of live and let live, particularly if there's a chance of a profit.
How much?
She's a lovely craft.
The tiki?
Oh, come now, Captain Troy. I'm not a hog. I'll be satisfied with a half share. I think that under the circumstances...
What was he after?
My ship.
What are you up to?
My gun's missing.
Bellamy?
Yeah, I think so. Look, he spent last night on the ship. He could have hidden it on board here anywhere. Let's look in his cabin, keep looking till we find it.
forgive me, my dear, but could you tell me where I might find your father? I tried his room, but there was no answer. No, really, it's most urgent that I see him. One might even say it's a matter of life and death. Would you mind horribly if I waited here for your father? No, I have a horror of being alone.
Okay. Ah, so glad my officer found you. Won't you sit down, madame?
I was coming over here anyway.
You were. I hear you had a slight disagreement with Monsieur Bellamy this afternoon.
Yes, I did. He tried to blackmail me.
Oh, naturally, you objected.
Naturally.
What made him think you were so vulnerable, huh?
Didn't he say?
Uh-uh.
What did he tell you?
Frankly, very little. Very little indeed.
Where'd you find him?
Not far from where we found the body of Monsieur Leyton. The same gun was used. And I always thought only good things came in threes. He has been dead since 5 o'clock. By the way, do you own a revolver?
Yes.
A .38 caliber, perhaps?
Yes.
If you tell me where it is, I will have Maurice fetch it.
Well, Maurice is going to have a real letdown because it disappeared.
Ah. It disappeared.
Yes, it disappeared. It's not on the ship anyplace. I searched the whole thing. That's what I was coming to see you about.
There is no rest for the weary. Here I had interviewed all the principals in our little drama, and now it appears I must repeat the entire procedure. Well, suppose this time we start with you, huh?
Well?
Did Iris Bellamy get back?
Yeah. Well, she's not here now, though, Adam. One of Foucher's cops came and picked her up about 10 minutes ago. What's going on?
Her brother was shot and killed at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Adam? Adam, am I welcome?
Of course.
Wasn't sure. I brought you nothing but bad luck.
Oh, don't be silly.
May I have my old cabin back?
It's yours.
Let me.
I thought you were going to stay at the hotel.
Not while my father's there. He can't understand that things have changed. Should have heard the names he called me. Granted, he was upset. So am I. I don't know what Mr. Bellamy said to him.
Your father spoke to Bellamy? Oh, when was that?
This afternoon. He called for Papa at the hotel. I don't know where he'd been. He was dripping wet. When Papa arrived, he and Mr. Bellamy just went for a walk. And then Papa came back alone.
Now, wait a minute. You said your father came back without Bellamy?
That's right.
You, stay here and unpack your things. Come on, Chris. Come on, Crandall, open the door.
He could have gone out.
Mr. Crandall? Mr. Crandall. Mr. Crandall.
Got him. Sleeping pills.
Get down to the kitchen and find a pot of coffee. Come on. Wake up. Come on, Mr. Crandall. We're gonna do some walking.
Got a fresh pot. It's not too hot.
Oh! Oh, I can't anymore.
All right, what'd you do it? Huh? What'd you do it? Because you killed Rick Leyton?
Oh, he deserved killing. He was no good. Can't you see what he would have done to Adrian?
Maybe I better go get Boucher.
Yeah.
It was all for nothing.
Yeah. Even with Rick dead, you still lost Adrian.
Can I ask you a favor? My attorney is a man named Philip Walton. You'll find his address in my wallet. Cable him. He'll meet you in Tahiti. He'll look after Adrian.
Maybe she won't want looking after.
Just get in touch with him.
What'd you do with the gun?
I threw it away.
Oh, that was after Bellamy tried to blackmail you.
What?
Well, isn't that why you killed him?
Yes, yes. It was just as you said. He tried to blackmail me.
When did you kill Bellamy?
I don't remember. Well, an hour ago, I was virtually dead. You can't expect me to remember everything. Well, I don't have to answer your questions.
You're going to have to answer Foucher's. Now, when did you kill Bellamy?
I don't remember exactly.
Approximately.
Well, it was about 6:30 or 7. After dark. He thought he could bleed me for every penny I... What's the matter?
Bellamy died at 5.
Well, you're wrong. I ought to know.
You should. If you killed him.
I did kill him.
And then you tried to kill yourself. Why?
Well, I knew it was just a question of time before they caught up with me.
Oh, and you thought your suicide would settle everything?
Yes.
Then why didn't you leave a note?
What?
No, it doesn't make sense, none of it. There are too many holes. What is it? Are you protecting somebody? Is that what this is all about?
Don't be ridiculous.
Because I don't believe you killed Rick or Bellamy or that you tried to kill yourself.
Captain, please.
It's Adrian, isn't it? Yeah, who else would you be protecting? She tried to kill you too, didn't she?
Are you out of your mind?
No. But Adrian could be. You said she wasn't well. Is that what you meant?
Troy, you've got to understand. Adrian's isn't to blame. It's my fault. Last year, they wanted to put her away. I wouldn't let them. I couldn't let them put her away. So, I'm responsible. Now, you see that, don't you? I thought I knew better than the doctors. I knew every sign. First, there'd be the period of elation, and then you'd look at her, and she seemed to be floating on air. And then
she'd get violent.
I made sure that no one ever saw that side of her. I gave her a sedative whenever I felt there was any danger.
And she turned around and gave the whole bottle to you.
No, you don't understand. She had every right to resent me. I watched her every minute. It wasn't her fault. It was mine. She likes you. You talk to her first. Be kind to her. Promise me, please.
All right.
Adam? I was waiting for you. I couldn't sleep. Can we talk?
Yeah, come on aboard.
I'd rather walk.
All right.
Where's Chris?
He'll be along.
Why'd you two rush off like that?
I got an idea.
Was it a good one?
So-so.
What's over there?
Just a beach.
I'll race you for it.
Adrian!
Coward, you weren't even trying. Something's bothering you. Something's troubling me, too. You went to see my father, didn't you?
Yes.
Adam, I have to tell you. I killed Rick. I killed him just as surely as if I'd pulled the trigger.
What do you mean?
I once told you that I didn't know why I let my father bully me. But I was lying. I had to humor him. You see, Papa isn't well. He had a nervous breakdown last year. He even attempted suicide. I was constantly afraid he might do it again. They wanted to put him away, but I wouldn't let them because I thought that if we went away together, that he'd get over it, and he was doing fine. You saw that, Adam. Everything was wonderful until I met Rick, and then Papa. He was fantastically possessive. I should have let Rick go. It would have been better all around, but I was selfish. And so I am responsible for his death. And now I despise myself. I walked out on Papa when he needed me most. And if he should try to do anything, I'll never forgive myself.
Your father's still alive, Adrian. We brought him around.
What did he tell you about me?
He tried to protect you. He even took the blame for Rick's death.
You think I'm responsible? I see. And am I responsible for Mr. Bellamy's murder, too?
Yes. Yes, he must have told you the same story he told me about witnessing Rick's murder. Except you shot him because you were guilty.
I suppose you think I lured him into the jungle with a promise to pay.
Yes.
You're really serious about this, aren't you, Adam?
I'm very serious about this. I think we should see Dr. Boucher. Father's probably spoken to him by now.
No!
We better leave, Adrian.
I said no! You and Rick, you're both just alike. Letting a girl trust you and believe in you, but only thinking of what you can gain, how you can turn on her. Well, Rick gained something, a most unusual honeymoon. And you, Adam...
The gun won't fire, Adrian. Give it to me. It only had 6 shots. You used them all, remember?
I'll kill you!
Ready to cast off, Adam?
Good. Well, goodbye, Adam. And once again, mille merci.
When are the Crandalls going to be moved to Tahiti?
In a few days, as soon as the police launch arrives. And do not worry, Adam. She will be given the proper medical attention.
Okay.
By the way, I am still troubled by something.
Like what?
The chance you took with Madame Leyton. How did you know a gun would not fire?
3 bullets were used to kill Rick. 3 bullets were used to kill Bellamy. 38 only has 6 chambers.
Ah, but suppose she had reloaded.
Where would you get the bullets?
We found a 38 in her husband's typewriter case, remember? Ah, but I imagine you consider that, huh?
You want to know a secret? I never even thought of it.
Oh.